You are now a crisis leader. It arrived. You couldn't stop it. The hurricane arrived. Now, how do you focus? What do you focus on in this third phase? Damage control, damage containment. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Great Transition Strategies Monday Morning Stand-Up. 5 minutes to get your week off to a great start and potentially give you something to help make you a more effective leader so you can love what you do. This third phase, damage control, damage containment. This is where we go and we think, well, that person is a really good crisis leader, because that's where we see them. We didn't see the other parts. First phase of crisis leadership is early warning or signal detection, knowing that is coming. Next one, preparation, prevention. But now it's arrived. Now you are in damage control, damage containment. What should you focus on? Let's talk about those things you focus on. First, what's the degree of the crisis? On the left, not so bad. On the right, this organization is not going to exist anymore. Okay? So that's an existential threat. Next, as you're thinking about that, let's think about your team. Think about first, you're leading a team. Think about that team. Is this a crisis for my team? Or is it a crisis for the organization that my team is in? Or is it a crisis in the industry that we're in? Define it. Now you define it's an existential threat. You define where it is on the scale. You define how your team is being affected by it. Next, define it. Be more specific. What type of crisis is it? What is it that needs to be contained? Generally speaking, when you need to contain it, it fits in one of these three areas. Financial. There's a financial problem that needs to be solved. We need to resolve that. Or it's a reputation. Oh, because of this, we have a real reputation issue that we need to take care of. Or it's an operational issue. Can't operate out of this building. Or it's a safety issue. There's some reason, something to do that's stopping operations. Define it. The problem is, here's the degree of it. This is what it is. Now, what do you need to focus on? You need to focus on containing the right and specific damage. You just took the time to get specific. What's the degree and what is it that we need to contain? Now, as you start working on, let's put a container around that. You put a container around that. The next is, who solves the problem? As leaders, we think we're problem solvers and we think that we can usually solve them, and we're usually pretty good at it. However, as a leader, you are not going to solve that one completely by yourself. You need help. What's the team? What's the skill set needed by that team in order to make this happen? I do believe that in solving a crisis, what you are doing is you're making your preparation and making it operational. Whatever you plan for in your prevention and preparation, you're now making that operational, and that's what's going to solve it for you. Let's take an example. Sully Sullenberg, Miracle on the Hudson, airplane took off from the New York airport, went through a flock of geese, flamed out the engines. Now, what's the problem? It's existential, it's operational, and what about my team? Everyone was able to contain their part. They did the damage control that they needed to do. They were able to compartmentalize. As a captain, he did the things he needed to. First officers going through checklists, dealing with the emergency, getting ready to ditch, and the rest of the air crew, the flight attendants, took care of everyone in the back. So once the plane was ditched, everyone got out and survived it. Second one to think about, Johnson & Johnson Tylenol. They had a crisis with Tylenol where it was poisoned and 3 customers died from using Tylenol. Specific, existential, absolutely. Where's the problem area? Financial, yep. Reputational, yes. Operational, yes. All 3 areas. They defined what the problem was and they worked through it with the right people too. How do we bring it all back? What's the damage we need to take care of financially? What do we need to do to make sure we remain operational? They did all those things. Now think about you with your team. What is a crisis you need to be ready for? And you can think about those 3 areas in your prep. But when an emergency happens, when a crisis happens, and you want to contain the damage, be specific. Don't get distracted by the other things. Define it, look at these 3 areas, and make sure you have the team to get it done. Thanks for listening. Look forward to you seeing me in the next video we talk about the next phase of crisis leadership.